What's up, y'all? It's your boy D-Stāl'S with another D-Stāl'S Extra Point. This is VLOG21 Part 2 recap of the Ravens shutout against the Bengals 24-0. Close to my prediction. I said 24-20. But the Bengals ain't scored a damn thing. They laid an egg. They had a donut, a 0 on the scoreboard. 0, nothing. And let's start with the offense. You know what? I don't even need a scarf. It was cold, but we got hot. I'm talking about the whole team. I don't even need a scarf. But, sorry about this. I got the strap on. This little strap thing. But, talk about this offense. The offense early on was struggling. They was struggling to convert. The first drive was pretty good. They ran the ball a lot, especially early on. With Derrick Henry, he had a couple of good runs, but then we stalled and had to punt the ball away. You know, I think Lamar got sacked or whatever, but early on the offense, you know, he struggled. They was trying to find their groove. But then eventually they got going. Even after the turn, then I think at the second drive, third drive, then Lamar threw it right to D-Stāl'S, right in his hand. Drop, you know, it's cold out there, so you're going to have some drops and stuff sometimes. But, you know, it got tipped. It was right there in the breadbasket, but it got tipped in the air, and the Bengals picked it off, unfortunately. But towards the end, especially in that first half, the offense got going finally got going, especially on that was that third down. Basically all out blitz. They was overloading one on the sides. The Bengals, Lamar checked to a different play, audible to play, and then next thing you know, blitz coming. Lamar threw the check down to Rasheen Ali, wide open on the side, ran down sideline, touchdown. That's what gave us that spark. Finally gave us that spark, and I think finally we got going on offense around that time. I think it was the end of this. Was it the first half? Finally got going on offense, and then after that, we was moving the ball. Even after the defense made the Bengals go 3 and out, I think on that first drive of the second half, then offense took off. Like the running game we was running the ball with no problem. We was getting I think Derrick Henry had 9-10 yards per carry. Even I think Keith Mitchell had 6 yards per carry. Then Lamar, like I said, Lamar was going to run more. He had I think 2 runs, but he had some good chunk yards running. And we ran the ball very good after we had that first touchdown, especially in that second half. Derrick Henry got going. I think he had 100 yards this game. And Keith Mitchell, I think he had 60-something yards. He had a couple big runs. We was pounding the ball, and then we was staying balanced too. You know, Lamar didn't have a lot of attempts. He only had 12 throws, but he was very efficient. Even after that interception that was tipped. And, you know, D-Stāl'S made up for it. Actually, the first touchdown in the first half, before the first half was done, was to Rasheen Ali. The second touchdown in the first half, end of the first half, right before halftime, was that one to D-Stāl'S on the sideline. Almost forgot. It was beautiful. I think he did a double move, not double move, but kind of a towards the sideline, in then up. D-Stāl'S up the sideline. Lamar had just enough time. Falele was very close to doing the same thing from last week with the DB almost beating him, but he just got enough to push him around just a little bit. And then Lamar just hit it a dime right to, he dotted was D-Stāl'S right in the corner. right in the sideline. Them deep throw down the sideline, beautiful. And people say he can't throw deep down the sideline. Oh, it's perfect. Just give him time, and look what happened. And we was up, what was it, 14-0 in that first half. We finally scored in that second quarter and the end of the second quarter. Then the first half came out running the ball real good, and I think we stalled again, and then we kicked field goal. Kicked another field goal. Yeah, we was going. We was moving the ball on offense, but then we didn't get a lot of snaps and time possession because our defense was on the field for a good amount of time. But you know, we kept driving the ball downfield. We got a couple of field goals from my man Tyler Loop. You know, I knew this was probably gonna be a game. Loop hit a couple of field goals. Then we got up 17-0, and that's really all the offense scored because the last score of the game was from the defense. But the offense took care of business. You can tell Lamar is much healthier. He's running the ball better. His hamstring probably not bothering him as much no more. Now, Zay just got to catch the ball. You know, he had a drop pass in the end zone in one of them stalled drives where we had to kick a field goal. When he twists his body around to catch the ball, all he had to do, I think, when he turns around, catch the ball, just fall down. You know, don't take the extra step, just fall down. And I think he would have caught the touchdown. But, you know, it was a cold game. You know, I see D-Hop. I was saying D-Hop was going to get the ball, and D-Hop had a nice catch on that RPO with Lamar. Just sidearm it. He no-look sidearm and on RPO, and then D-Hop got upfield. Even though D-Hop should have just kept going straight. I don't know, maybe because he don't think he was probably fast enough to beat DB, but he might have. You know, instead of like juking and stuff, getting in and out, whatever, to try and break the tackle or whatever. But he got a catch. Mark Andrews caught 2 great catches on, I think, some pivotal third downs. You know, it wasn't too many receivers getting the ball. It was cold, but we ran the ball very, very good. And we ran the ball on them, especially in that second quarter on. You know, Derrick Henry about to break another touchdown. A couple runs could have went for a touchdown, and Keith Mitchell. You know, and man, offense did their thing. It was a cold game. They did what they were supposed to do. They got the W. Lamar was efficient, very efficient, despite the one interception that wasn't his fault. You know, it was just cold, and Zay Flowers dropped the ball. But moving forward, they got to solve the red zone issues. They got to get in the red zone, especially this next team we playing against, the Patriots. So they got to fix that. You know, if they could fix that and then somehow, some way get by with Daniel Falala, this offense can get back to being dangerous. And we got to get Bateman back because he was injured. He didn't play, you know, with that lingering ankle injury. But I feel like the offense did what they were supposed to do, you know, very efficient, you know. But this is part 2, recap of the offense of the Ravens. Now, let's talk about this defense. Shutting them down.